टीवी पे एग्जैक्टली मेरा रेफरेंस है. दैट वाज बैड इनफ कि ओके ठीक है एक गाना कर लिया, मेरे रेफरेंस कट के 3 गाने बने जिसके लिए मैंने भी ऑडिशन दिया था बट आई गॉट रिजेक्टेड.
एडिटिंग स्किल्स ज्यादा होने चाहिए.
हाँ जी, एब्सोल्युटली. दे आर टेस्टिंग योर एडिट स्किल्स. दे आर नॉट टेस्टिंग योर क्रिएटिविटी. दे आर नॉट टेस्टिंग यू एज अ कोरियोग्राफर. दे आर टेस्टिंग योर एडिटिंग स्किल्स एंड से गाइज this is absolute nonsense. I mean, this is unfortunate. This is happening to choreographers on a daily basis. ऐसा नहीं कि तब हो रहा था अभी नहीं हो रहा है, अभी भी हो रहा है. इनफैक्ट अभी और ज़्यादा हो रहा है. I was like, ये सबसे बकवास चीज़ है. जिसने भी लाया है ना, क्रिएटिविटी तुम्हारी वजह से ख़त्म है. You can't tell the same person, okay, now prove yourself. Okay, now prove yourself again and again. And again, and it continues to happen. The person on the other side laughed on my face. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Ready?
Yep.
Lights, camera, action!
This should be part of the podcast.
Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to Tej Talks.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so glad to have you. Honestly, first because मैं आपको बहुत सालों से follow करता हूँ. Not necessarily क्योंकि मुझे आपका style बहुत अच्छा लगता है, बट मुझे आप एज अ परफॉर्मर बहुत अच्छे लगते हो.
Thank you.
मैंने आपको डांस करते हो जब देखा था ना, तो मैं मतलब वो एक जो स्टेरियोटाइप है ना, वो मुझ में भी था कि मैं बोला अरे, बट देन व्हेन यू फट हो गया ना, एंड यू हैव दैट बीट वाला, मतलब द कोरियोग्राफी और ऑलवेज लाइक थोड़ा स्लो चलता है, एंड फिर जब थड़ 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 आता है ना, तो यू जस्ट ऐसे सब हिल जाता है.
मुझे भी पता नहीं मैं क्या करती हूँ.
No, but it's superb, it's brilliant. You don't know, but many years back you came to Nasik once.
Yes,
for a workshop. और उस workshop के टाइम पे मैं जिनके पास आप आए थे उनसे टूटा था. मतलब मैं उनके पास फ्रीलांसिंग करता था तब.
Okay.
और तभी
वो जो
मैंने
स्कूल में हुआ था.
हाँ.
Oh.
तो मुझे आना था उस वर्कशॉप में, लेकिन क्योंकि हमारा पंगा हो गया था, तो मैं नहीं आ पाया. बट वो भी मुझे याद है, मैंने फोटोज देखे थे और मैं तब बॉयल होता था कि शिट यार, उस दिन मैं नहीं जा पाया.
हर मुलाकात की वक्त होती है. तो
हाँ, तो आज पहली बार. थैंक यू सो मच. हमने बात तो किया है बट मिले नहीं कभी.
Yes.
आई एम सो ग्लैड टू हैव यू हियर.
Thank
सो
you.
फर्स्ट एंड द मतलब क्वेश्चन भी नहीं बोल सकते, बट द टॉपिक आई वांट टू इंट्रोड्यूस इज, यू हैव सीन इट ऑल. हम लोग जस्ट यही बात कर रहे थे. अगर हम लोग ऐसे स्क्वायर बनाए कि कोरियोग्राफी स्पेस में, डांसिंग स्पेस में एंटर करने, यू हैव ब्रोकन द स्क्वायर एज वेल. बट अगर हम लोग एक स्क्वायर बना ले कि एक कोरियोग्राफर या फिर एक डांसर ने क्या देखना चाहिए, तो एक परफॉर्मेंस का हाइप देखना चाहिए कि एक टॉप लेवल परफॉर्मर होना चाहिए, बॉलीवुड कोरियोग्राफी करना चाहिए, रियलिटी शो जज करना चाहिए, एंड भर के वर्कशॉप लेने चाहिए ऑल इंडिया. आई थिंक यू हैव कवर्ड ऑल 4 एस्पेक्ट्स. व्हाट इज द फेवरेट? व्हाट डू यू एंजॉय द मोस्ट?
First of all, I would like to say I think I'm one of the very few blessed people, क्योंकि हर इंसान को ये मौका नहीं मिलता जो करियर हाइज या आप करियर ग्राफ जो होता है ना कंप्लीट करने के लिए बहुत कम लोगों को वो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है. एंड आई थिंक आई एम वन ऑफ द लकी वंस. तो ऑब्वियसली आई फील ब्लेस्ड अबाउट दैट. व्हाट आई लाइक मोस्ट, आई हैव रियलाइज्ड कि आई थिंक मुझे सिखाना बहुत पसंद आता है. एंड मुझे मेरा काम किसी और पर कैसे उभर के आता है वो देखना पसंद आता है. तो मुझे वो टीचिंग मोड जो है ना, वो मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद आता है. आई थिंक दैट केम थ्रू वर्कशॉप्स. जो मुझे करना था, हाँ करेक्ट, डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन विथ माई स्टूडेंट्स, उनको देखना कि वो कोरियोग्राफी पिकअप कर रहे हैं और बहुत अच्छी तरह कर रहे हैं. आई थिंक दैट इज़ वॉट इज़ वेरी गुड टू वॉच एज अ टीचर.
बट ऐसे क्यों होता है ना, मतलब मैं 14 साल का था जब मैंने सिखाना शुरू किया, और मैं 14 साल का ही था जब मैंने डांस शुरू किया. तो इट हैज ऑलवेज बिन कि मैंने जैसे डांस करते से ही सिखाया, क्योंकि वो आ ही गया. मतलब ऐसे नहीं कि मेरे को आई वांटेड टू टीच,
नेचुरल हो आप.
हाँ नहीं, हाँ मतलब आई विल ऑलवेज से आई एम अ ब्लेस्ड वन. बट मैं जिस जगह पे गया, उन्होंने बोला अरे म्हणजे मराठी में तू करूंगे तो तू पटकन शिकव, कारण मग तुला मग आम्ही 1000 रुपये देऊ.
मैं भी उस कैटेगरी में थी.
अच्छा.
हाँ डेफिनेटली थी, क्योंकि 16 साल की उम्र में मैं एक लोकल कोरियोग्राफर के साथ मैं डांस क्लासेस करती थी.
अच्छा.
और
इन मुंबई ओनली?
हाँ इन मुंबई ओनली, जेमूर ओनली. एंड ही सॉ मी, तो उसने पूछा कि अरे तू अच्छा नाच लेती है, तू सालसा बिगिनर सिखा ले, तू सिखा ले, तू एरोबिक सिखा ले. आई एम लाइक हाँ क्यों, मौका नहीं मिल रहा. लाइक ऑफ कोर्स पैसे मिल रहे ना, 3000 रुपए महीने का, डेफिनेटली क्यों नहीं करूंगी. सो तो आई एम प्रीटी मच द सेम ऑन दैट.
और उस एज में आई फील कि मतलब मेरे घर से भी था, आई एम वेरी श्योर कि घर वाले बोलते फीस वीस नहीं मिलेगा. मतलब ऐसे था कि डांस करना है ना तू खुद कर, क्योंकि उनको पता था ये नहीं कर पाएगा, कि हाँ अगर खुद पैसा करना है ना तो नहीं हो पाएगा. और that gave me more of the reason कि ये मैं कर लूँ.
Correct.
And I think that, but I don't know why, but ये सिखाना इतना अच्छा क्यों लगता है? What do you think about it कि एक आर्टिस्ट को, जैसे a person, we both connect on the point कि मुझे परफॉर्मेंस I had to do, ताकि लोगों को पता चले कि ये मेरा ही कोरियोग्राफी है. अदरवाइज क्या होता है कि हम लोग पीछे छुप जाते हैं. एंड इन अ स्मॉल टाउन जहाँ से मैंने शुरू किया ना, तो लोगों को क्या पता कि ये किसका है. तो मेरे साथ ऐसा भी हुआ है कि इनिशियल टाइम पे जब मैंने यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस डाले, तो मेरे कुछ वीडियोस मेरे ही क्लास के आजू बाजू के लोगों ने कॉपी करके सिखा दिए. और उन्होंने भी क्लास का वीडियो बना के डाला. तो मैंने बोला अरे ये देखो मेरा कोरियोग्राफी है. तो वो बोले अरे ये देखो ये चोर है हमारी कोरियोग्राफी. अब थैंकफुली मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल टेक ऑफ हुआ, इसलिए उन्होंने बोला कि फिर वो साइलेंट मोड पे चले गए. बट दिस हैपेंस ना, बिकॉज एंड आई थिंक दैट इज द रीजन वी स्टार्ट परफॉर्मिंग.
आई हैव, तो ये होता है ना कि दिखाना जरूरी होता है, ये मैंने कभी नहीं समझा.
अच्छा.
आई एम दैट पर्सन.
Okay.
मुझे कंफर्ट मिलता है कि मैं बिहाइंड द कैमरा काम करूं, मैं टेक्नीशियन की तरह काम करूं, मैं कोरियोग्राफर की तरह काम करूं, ताकि वो जो ट्रांसफर होता है ना, कि तुम्हारी एनर्जी, तुम्हारा काम, वो मुझे पसंद आया है. बट आई हैव नेवर बिन लाइमलाइट हंग्री, if you know what I mean. My process has been कि fame is a byproduct.
Right.
It is a byproduct. I don't need to prove that I have done anything, because एक होता है sense of security that you have as an artist or a performer or a teacher, that I don't want to prove anything to anyone. It flows and if it transfers into something good, great, automatically पता चलेगा कि किसने किया है.
But पता चलेगा, do you think?
Of course.
कभी मतलब we also know what I am going to come on.
पता चलता है, but it also comes to a point where एक होता है ना, बोलते हैं प्लेगरिज्म, जो बोलते हैं, should not happen, which is what I am against. कि I don't think anybody should take credit for anybody else's work.
But they do.
Of course they do. They're shameless about it. And that moment of time, you can definitely stand up and say, this is wrong. But in that sense, किसको दिखाना है? Ultimately, who is paying attention? Who is going to give it its due? And who is going to give it justice? Nobody. It's just going to be known कि हाँ ये बंदे ने इसकी कोरियोग्राफी चोरी की है. And that's about it. कभी बोला हाँ shame. क्या वो बंदा अभी भी काम कर रहा है? हाँ काम कर रहा है ना, रुका तो नहीं.
Right.
But एक होता है, that's what I'm saying, you have to find peace again with yourself. So ultimately, even if that person is shamed, that person is still working, you're also still working. His or her value has not been affected at all. So you take that moment, you learn from it, and you let it go. And what will show your greatness is if you let it go. So I'm not saying don't talk about it. Talk about it. But if you harp on it, it's not going to make any difference. Because nothing is going to happen to that person. Trust me. And that is unfortunately where we are as fellow choreographers, dancers, artists at this moment of time.
But I think अभी आप ऐसे हो, but have you always been that way कि काम गया तो you don't mind? क्योंकि मेरा तो ऐसा शेक हो जाता है.
एक इंसिडेंस पता है for sure कि मेरे लाइफ में हुआ. I went to meet a director. बहुत फेमस डायरेक्टर है. ऑफिस गई, मिली, ब्रीफ ले लिया, बोला वी आर डूइंग कम बैक वर्जन ऑफ माही वे. सो आई वॉज डैम एक्साइटेड, क्योंकि ये there would be a person who was, the artist was not known to me at that moment of time, but they wanted to retouch and revisit that song. Now iconic number tha. सो आई गॉट रियली एक्साइटेड एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली इस इंडस्ट्री में ये जो नॉर्म बना है इसको बोलते हैं रेफरेंस कट, जिस आई थिंक इज द वर्स्ट थिंग पॉसिबल दैट कुड हैपन टू एनी क्रिएटिविटी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली पीपल डू नॉट विजुअलाइज.
आप समझा दो ना प्लीज ऑडियंस के लिए रेफरेंस कट क्या होता है.
रेफरेंस कट ये होता है जो आप बेसिकली जो गाना आपको करना है, कोरियोग्राफ करना है, वो आप लेते हो, आप उस पे इंटरनेशनल गाने के क्लिपिंग्स लेके एडिट करते हो और एक पूरा गाना रेफरेंस कट की तरह बन जाता है उस गाने
और
पे.
उसी को फॉलो करना
और उसको फॉलो करना पड़ता है क्योंकि वो आप विजन बेच रहे हो टू द डायरेक्टर और द प्रोड्यूसर.
और ये रियलिटी शोज में भी सेम चीज चलता है.
जी, एब्सोल्युटली वही चलता है. एंड आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू शाय अवे फ्रॉम सेइंग इट कि हाँ देयर इज अ रेफरेंस. ऑफ कोर्स रेफरेंसेस है, पर उसके जो इर्द गिर्द आप क्रिएटिविटी करते हो वो आपकी होती है. बट पीपल वांट टू सी समथिंग दैट इट वुड मैच लाइक और लुक लाइक to have some kind of faith in it. ये होता है lack of experience of dance, okay, lack of vision, क्योंकि आप कोरियोग्राफर का विजन आप देख नहीं सकते, और the worst part of it, lack of trust.
Right.
Most importantly, क्योंकि अगर आपने किसी प्रोफेशनल को हायर किया है, उसके काबिलियत पे हायर किया है, right? You can't tell the same person, okay, now prove yourself. Okay, now prove yourself again and again. And again, and it continues to happen. And because why? Because we are feeding them that. कि आपको नहीं समझ रहा ना, ये देखो हम ऐसा कुछ करेंगे. ये होता है feeding. Hence, they have stopped thinking, and we have started overfeeding.
Right.
As choreographers. So उसमें I believe there's a lot of that creativity is gone. Because जो मेरे मन में है is not necessarily a visual which is on the internet.
Right, very true.
And I don't need to justify it. If you have seen my previous work and trusted what I do as a choreographer, then you should trust that vision that I have.
Very true.
Okay, I understand कि ठीक है आप कुछ फोटोग्राफ्स ले लो. जैसे कि मैं अपने रेफरेंस वर्क के लिए अगर मुझे कोई सेट अच्छा कराना है या whatever, I go on to Pinterest and make a board. You know, I create a look board. This is what I want as costumes, something like this as a set, something like this for lighting.
Visual representation.
It's a visual representation of your vision. But if you do an entire song and put international references into it and say, okay, and the best part है ठीक है, references तो ठीक है, lip sync भी होना चाहिए जैसे गाने का है.
अच्छा. वो
भी होता है कि lip sync is cut exactly as to what the person is saying. ही वे रिहाना गा रही है.
अच्छा.
yeah, it happens like that. So उस लेवल तक जाते हैं.
एडिटिंग स्किल्स ज्यादा होने चाहिए.
हाँ जी, absolutely. They are testing your edit skills. They are not testing your creativity. They are not testing you as a choreographer. They are testing your editing skills. So coming back, तो मैं गई थी उनके ऑफिस में, ये बोला था कि ओके ठीक है ये क्रिएट करने का है. I said sure, no problem. And pressure, right? I want to create something which is iconic and something that is obviously out of the box. But that guy was saying मुझे रेफरेंस कार्ड दो.
Okay.
अब मजबूरी से मैंने तो घर जाके मेरा रिसर्च करे, विजुलाइज करके, trying to fit you know that vision into the song. Knowing exactly what I want to look at, okay ऐसा दिखेगा वैसा दिखेगा, approximately कर दिया है. मेरे लिए क्या important at that moment of time? मुझे गाना मिल रहा है, okay? हर गाना काउंट करता है.
Very true.
एक होता है मन के कोरियोग्राफर के मन में, fuck my way हिट हो गया तो I'll get probably 5 more projects. चल हिट हो गया तो बन जाएगा, है ना सीन. So you have that thought process also going on. तो काट लिया और लेके गई और उस टाइम पे पेन ड्राइव लेके गई थी. हाँ तो पेन ड्राइव लेके गई तो वाओ माइंड ब्लोइंग यार, दिस इज अमेजिंग. So I was like, great, super happy. Like he's liked the work. Yeah, don't worry. You keep this with me, and we'll keep in touch. And we're starting next month with this song. So I will contact you. Like ठीक है. कहीं खुश होके यार पक्का गाना तो हमारा ही है. कितने ऐसे सालों के बाद कुछ तो एक बड़े कंपनी के म्यूजिक कंपनी में मेरे को ऐसे पैर डालना. It was like huge. I was like yes, this is gonna happen. Maybe lots of future projects as well. तो गई, 1 महीना हुआ, 2 महीना हुआ, 3 महीना हुआ, कोई कॉल नहीं आया. 5 महीने के बाद वो फिल्म रिलीज हो जाती है.
अच्छा.
ओके, वो गाने आ जाते हैं. माही वे आ रहा है टीवी पे, एग्जैक्टली मेरा रेफरेंस है. मैं तो ऐसे हो गया, आई एम लाइक व्हाट द हेल. अच्छा, कोरियोग्राफर कौन है? तो देयर वाज वन ऑफ द सीनियर पीपल of the industry. In fact, my senior, I worked as a part of the same team under Ahmed Khan, and I was like so thoroughly disappointed, disheartened, and that was bad enough कि okay ठीक है, एक गाना कर लिया, मेरे रेफरेंस कट के 3 गाने बने. 3.
अच्छा.
I'm like what the hell?
Same direction.
Yeah. I was shocked. तो मेरी तो हट गई. Okay, I was at that moment of time, I was like fuck, this needs to be done, something needs to be done about this. I got really upset, and then I was like fuck it, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to put a post out which puts the exact same visual on the song as my reference cut, and put it out and say guys, this is absolute nonsense. I mean, this is unfortunate. This is happening to choreographers on a daily basis. ऐसा नहीं कि तब हो रहा था, अभी नहीं हो रहा है, अभी भी हो रहा है. इनफैक्ट अभी और ज़्यादा हो रहा है. Is my take on this. And we are cutting each other. Like ऐसा भी नहीं है कि अच्छा रेफरेंस कट मुझे मिल गया है. अगर कोरियोग्राफर जो अलग है, जो ले रहा है रेफरेंस कट, बोल रहा कि अरे ये नहीं होना चाहिए, मैं खुद बनाता हूँ ना मेरा.
Right.
है ना, खुद बनाता हूँ, आप वो ले लो. नहीं, एग्जैक्ट वही है. तो आई गॉट लाइक व्हाट द हेल इज हैपनिंग, व्हाई वी नॉट रिस्पेक्टिंग ईच अदर स्पेस. दैट इज माई बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम, कि व्हाई आरंट वी standing up for each other? Why are we not taking a stand and saying no, if that is her work, that is her work, let that be, I will create something new on it.
Right.
And that is just the basics. Okay, पर वो नहीं होता, and it's unfortunate. I stood up at that moment of time, and I made a noise, and there were choreographers who acknowledged it. There were choreographers who said yes, this happens, and I completely dissed reference cutting at that moment of time. I was like, ये सबसे बकवास चीज़ है, जिसने भी लाया है ना, क्रिएटिविटी तुम्हारी वजह से ख़त्म है. So I was very vocal about it. Unfortunately, being vocal is considered criminal over here. But yeah, that's the story.
Did it backfire on you? It's not really. You don't care also.
No, but I think my upfrontness has backfired throughout my career.
अच्छा.
हाँ, तो ऐसा तो
कोई नई बात नहीं.
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. बट आई एम वेरी पर्टिकुलर अबाउट जो सही है वो सही है, जो गलत है वो गलत है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज द वे टू लिव योर लाइफ इन द मोस्ट ऑनेस्टी, है ना. लाइक तुम जाके घर जाके सो जाओगे विथ अटमोस्ट पीस इन योर हेड. ये शायद बहुत कम लोगों को blessed है कि you can go back and have a good night's sleep. I can have a good night's sleep. I've lived on my own terms. I've conducted my life on my own terms, with utmost respect, for everybody around and for myself, more importantly. And I think that is what I believe is my strength.
Right.
So,
how has your experience been in the industry, working in the industry and working outside the industry? मतलब जैसे workshops है, and the touring है, the part of anything that is not a mainstream Bollywood.
Correct.
And then the Bollywood.
Yeah.
मतलब what is the difference like? मतलब एक outsider के लिए जो एक सपना देखता है कि जैसे मुझे बॉलीवुड में जाके काम करना है, बट स्टार्ट यही से करते हैं सब लोग का. बाहर से स्टार्ट ऐसे ही क्लासेस करेंगे, वर्कशॉप्स करेंगे, अभी थोड़ा सोशल मीडिया करेंगे. दैट इज द टर्म.
yes.
You have been there before social media also, ना?
Absolutely.
And then-
अरे अगर मैं उस टाइम पे सोशल मीडिया पे थी, रेज बाय नाउ, ट्रस्ट मी. I was not only good looking, I was dancing like a beast. But yeah.
वो टाइम मतलब कौन सा कितना ऐसे कुछ बहुत साल नहीं हुए
About when I was at the peak of my dancing, I was 23 years old. That's 16. That's 13 years ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I guessed your age.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am 37. I have no qualms in saying that. But exactly. So at that time was definitely.
So were you performing, choreographing, or doing what?
So this is the interesting part of my career where I spent very little time dancing. I started industry work at about 18 years old.
Achha.
Okay.
How did it happen?
Okay, how did it happen? So, as I said, I was the teacher with the local choreographer. हाँ उधर ही. हाँ तो उधर आके there were dancers who came in corporate shows के लिए. The corporate shows के लिए they were performing और मैं class खत्म होने के बाद rehearsals होते थे. So I used to sit behind and watch all the dancers perform. And I was extremely taken up by the entire process of it. क्योंकि I was like smitten, मुझे ये करना है. So there were Danny Kunjan Savio, Javed Sanadi, mind-blowing dancers at that moment of time, just like killing it in their presence on stage. And I used to be so smitten. So Javed I knew from there only. And the moment I decided to leave Darren Das, which was the choreographer over there, I called him up. And I said, Javed, if you think that I'm a good dancer, can you please call me professionally for shows outside? So he's like, yeah, you're damn good. I'll call you. And we'll see how it goes. I'm like, sure. Next day he called. Next day. And he called me for a show for Pooja Uttam, a choreographer at that moment of time. And it was an audition. And I was shitting bricks. I went for the audition. They liked me. I got my first show. And that's how, as a performer, as a dancer, and I did that show. That show ka experience also is another story altogether. But I performed that show, and from that show onwards, I never asked for work. Work always came to me.
Achha.
So I should do my job.
And you were 18.
Yes, I was 18. Okay, and I got into not only dancing for people like Rajiv Surti. Was one of the first choreographers I danced for. It was Mr. Gladrag's Mr. India, a show that he had choreographed, and I performed as a part of his dance troupe at that moment of time. The second one, the first shoot I did as a part of Bollywood industry was Kaisi Paheli for Parinita.
Kaisi
Yes.
Paheli?
Yes. उस शूट में मैं असिस्ट कर रही थी. मुझे पता नहीं था कि असिस्टेंट का प्रोफाइल होता क्या है, तो मैं असिस्ट कर रही थी.
क्या होता है? सॉरी, मतलब पता ही नहीं है. अभी मुझे अभी भी नहीं पता.
हाँ, वेल ओके, तो मैं बताऊंगी क्योंकि मैंने वो मास्टर कर दिया है. बट असिस्टेंट का प्रोफाइल जो था, आई थॉट कि हर डांसर करता है ना आर्टिस्ट को सिखाने का काम या कोरियोग्राफ करने का काम. सो आई वाज लाइक, हाँ, ये तो हर डांसर का काम है. आई डोंट नो इट वाज एन असिस्टेंट्स जॉब. आई गॉट पेड आल्सो एज अ डांसर. दैट्स द वर्स्ट पार्ट. आई डिडंट इवन नो दैट एनी व्हिच वे. So one of that was Parinita, and the people who took me under their wing were Harshal Vittal.
Okay.
So their first show at Star Parivar Awards, उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि okay, you come for the show, and I had got a contact via because my mom knew his dad through work or something like that, and they said, हाँ, she's a dancer, so he said, हाँ, come, I'll meet you. Meet you, तो ठीक था. Put me in the block only first show.
अच्छा. Yeah.
So that was. Like immediately it was clicking like, okay, fine, you're a center performer, you're not a person who dances on the side. So they picked me up, and then they realized कि मेरा potential है choreography में.
Okay.
So from the second project onwards itself, I started assisting them.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So my journey as a dancer is very short-lived. I've hardly probably done like 3 years of actual professional dancing behind. My main thing has been assistant choreography and choreography. So from the time I was 21 to now, it is only assistant choreography and choreography. I must have danced on a couple of reality shows. One I did was DPL, under Harshal Vittal. That was there, and ABCD.
Right.
As a dancer with the entire crew. But apart from that, I have only assisted. So my dancing career
Who
is
have you
minimalist.
assisted? Like who's the?
So I
just
started
to
off with
name.
Harshal Vittal. I assisted Uma Geti as well. So I've done some movies with them as well and shows as well. I worked with Ahmed Khan for a majority of time. For about 4.5 years, I worked under his umbrella. And then I worked for Remo Sir as well. So ABCD happened. But post that, after working for Ahmed Sir, I also did some assistant choreography for Remo Sir as well. So I've worked with 3 or 4 choreographers, but I've danced with most of the choreographers. You name Inder, Rajiv Surti, Geeta ma'am, you name them, I have worked with majority of them. The only people I have not worked with are the female choreographers, and I regret it. Like I miss working with Saroj Khan ma'am, Farah Khan ma'am, Vaibhavi ma'am, all people who I admire, you know, as a female choreographer. And unfortunately, I haven't got the opportunity to work with them yet. And I keep saying yet because I still feel there's a lifetime ahead of me. And I hope I get an opportunity to work with them at some point of time. But that is a dream. So yeah, I've worked with a majority of them.
What has been the best one? Who has been the best one? या ऐसे नहीं कर सकते.
नहीं मैं कर सकती हूँ 100%. क्योंकि मेरी सिखाई सबसे ज्यादा अगर हुई है तो वो अहमद खान के यू नो छत्र छाया में जो बोलते हैं ना. आई थिंक आई हैव गेन्ड अ लॉट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस एज अ कोरियोग्राफर बिकॉज of learning under him.
What is the life like? मतलब ये जब जर्नी होता है एक असिस्टेंट का.
Yes.
I know कि मूवीज शूट्स लोकेशंस जाते हैं, लेकिन what is the life like? Daily life क्या होता है?
So depending on the project, right? अगर project होता है, so this is what I loved about Sir. Ahmed Sir is one person who will not explain one thing to you till you ask him. Number one.
Okay.
But the expectation is to observe very well. And I think that is the key to becoming a good assistant. Luckily for Ahmed Sir, when it comes to his teachings, he takes us to the set meeting also.
अच्छा.
फल्ली कहाँ से लग रही है, उधर से लेकर कैमरा के पीछे तक क्या हो रहा है ना, तुम सर के अंदर you learn.
That's why the majority of the choreographers coming out.
Yes. And that is the effort he takes. So from the first meeting of meeting the art director, meeting the director, meeting, you know, everybody on the team, he will take you right from concept stage to art stage to camera stage. He will take you through the entire thing. You'll be present. You don't have to do anything. Mobile.
अच्छा.
आँख खुली, कान खुले. That's the maximum learning you can do when you follow this. पक करने लगोगे ना, खत्म. Not going to happen. But if you do that, you will really learn so much. And what you can incorporate, what you don't want to incorporate.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things that you don't want to do as the leader, right? So what most important is, तुम क्या करना नहीं चाहते हो, वो सीख गए ना, then you will start forming your own path.
Reverse calculation.
Absolutely.
So being an assistant, being in the team is a different story. Then being a choreographer is a different story.
Absolutely.
जब आप lead करते हो. So what do you prefer and how has been it? Like how different is it?
So of course as an assistant you definitely know you want to take the next step.
Right.
Okay.
And वो तो सबको होता है.
हाँ, सबको होता है ना, पर कब?
हाँ.
That's the key. Where you will take that leap. You take it too soon, you've not learned that much. You take it too late, you've waited too long. There has to be a right time. Now, I have seen so many of my contemporaries who went way ahead of me, you know, really early on in their careers. You know, did shows like Jhalak Dikhla Ja as choreographer. जिसके लिए मैंने भी audition दिया था, but I got rejected. Yeah, I mean, that has been like the story of my life. Like reject. Okay, find your own path. So that was that. And I saw a lot of people who like shot to fame or got their due or, you know, became instant hits as a part of the choreography world. And I was quietly on the sidelines assisting. And I don't say it as assisting because I was just learning. And learning and making sure that I got all that I needed to know. as a choreographer, to take that leap as a choreographer. So I spent a lot of time reality shows पे मैंने 4.5 साल काम किए continuously.
कौन से मतलब
God, अब मैं शुरू करूँ तो where did we start with? There was this show called Aja Mahi Ve on Star Plus.
Right.
Started off with that. फिर उसके बाद नच बलिए season 4. फिर उसके बाद झलक दिखला जा. As assisting 3 choreographers,
but not getting
but not selected as main choreographer. Can you imagine this? Beautiful it was. फिर उसके बाद dancing queen. Okay, Just Dance. जरा
the first one
for
first season Just Dance या फिर
Just Dance. Yes, there was only one season. ना flop तो था वो show. तो फ्लॉप ही तो था, एक ही सीजन था. Ankan Sen was the winner at that moment of time. तो हाँ, तो that. Then there was Nach Bale season, Shriman versus Shrimati. There was one season that did that.
Okay.
Then did I say Dancing Queen? I think I said Dancing Queen. So, and I was a supervising choreographer for a Marathi reality show called Halla Bol as well. So ऐसे बहुत सारे उसके बाद भी I can't even think now, but lots, like up to 14 shows I have counted.
and you're bouncing around मतलब movies और ये साथ में अच्छा
नहीं, continually on only reality shows for 4.5 years.
my god
दिमाग
it's a hectic
सड़ गया था,
हाँ.
सड़ गया था.
movies
trust
भी
me.
ठीक है फिर कभी
हाँ, so this is what I knew that I never wanted to go back to. I had done enough of reality and I said मुझे इधर stuck feel हो रहा है. There's a limitation to your vision, to your execution, to whatever you want to do. Obviously it's controlled, right? And then you are allowed to do what, of course there are some choreographers who accept your work, say yes, we trust you, and you do what you want to do, because I'm a kind of assistant who does end to end. The choreographer has to just come to the hall, see the act, and थोड़ा सा इधर उधर tweak करना. I'm an end-to-end worker. I don't leave any stone unturned. So that's the way I am. So people obviously appreciate that kind of working. So I did a lot of that with 4.5 years of reality. Okay. And then I said, nahi. Bas. Can't. Even if I have to sit at home for some time, doesn't matter. But I will make that leap into films.
Okay.
So luckily, during that phase, I was also working with Uma Gethi, and they were doing a couple of songs here and there, which I got to assist on. So not too many, but had 2-3 definitely honge. And I was a part of that, knowing absolute nothing about camera, about how a set works. When it comes to being a choreographer, zilch. Okay, I didn't know anything. Kiya. जो करना था, what you know best, you just wing it, right? You know your job as a dancer, choreographer, assistant. हाँ, उतना ही करो and keep your eyes open. So I did that. But at 4.5 years, I said, after that, 5 years after, I was like, नहीं, I'm done. ये नहीं हो पाएगा मेरे से. I want to become a film choreographer. I want to make sure that I paint on a larger canvas, and camera is that. Camera is the opportunity to create, right?
Right.
आपको वो मौका मिलता है जो अनदेखा हो, like अनसुना हो.
Right.
You're dealing with even new technology, new cameras, VFX. You're adding all that to your game. तो मुझे वो करना था. So I said okay. और वो भी ऐसा नसीब होता है ना कि opportunities come in very funny ways. तो एक शूट था उमा गीती का और वो कैंसिल होते जा रहा था और मुझे बीच में कॉल आया एक असिस्टेंट का जो अहमद सर को असिस्ट करे थे उस बार. एंड ही कॉल्ड मी एंड ही इज लाइक नहीं तू वो शूट छोड़ पर तू अहमद सर का शूट कर ले. तो हम लाइक ये क्या ज़बरदस्ती है. पर ऐसे ठीक है, मौका मिल रहा है, अगर ये शूट कैंसिल हो रहा है तो मैं वो करके वापस आ जाती हूँ. तो वो हुआ. आई वेंट देयर टू शूट. एक होता है पावर डायनामिक्स, असिस्टेंट के भी पावर डायनामिक्स होते हैं ना, ऑफ कोर्स. यानी हाँ, तो कोरियोग्राफर से ज्यादा असिस्टेंट का पावर डायनामिक्स होता है, है ना, कि दे विल कंट्रोल हु कम्स इन एंड आउट. कोरियोग्राफर को पता भी नहीं है कि क्या हो रहा है. इट इज दैट ट्रू. सो वही हो रहा था. उसने कुछ तो गड़बड़ किया था, किसी को फायर किया था और मुझे ऐसे इमरजेंसी में हायर किया था. ओके, सो इमरजेंसी में हायर किया था, तो मैं गई उस सर. एंड अहमद सर, मैंने अहमद सर के लिए नाचा था बहुत पहले 36 चाइनाटाउन एज अ डांसर.
अच्छा,
So he remembers
36
me.
Chinatown.
So he remembers me. He's like, great, superb, Karishma's on board. He had loved me even then, and he had made me a block dancer at that moment of time also. Now ये होता है जेलसी की वजह से, कहीं ना कहीं डायनामिक्स की वजह से यू आर आउट. और वैसे बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ मेरा आउट बहुत टाइम हुआ है. सो अरे गुड डांसर, वेरी गुड डांसर, आउट. दैट इज हैपेंड टू मी सेवरल टाइम्स. ओके, तो वो भी हुआ. तो अहमद सर के पास वापस आ गई थी एंड आई वाज लाइक गुड, ठीक है, अच्छे टेक्नीशियन के पास मुझे सीखना मिल रहा है, तो आई वाज वेरी हैप्पी. और ये अपना चालू था कुछ ना कुछ कीड़े करते हुए, थिंकिंग दैट आई एम गोइंग टू शट अप अबाउट व्हाट ही इज डूइंग टू मी. एंड देन कमिंग अक्रॉस लाइक, अरे गर्ल का गाना है, कोरियोग्राफर एक आइटम नंबर कर रहा है और उस पर आपको कोरियोग्राफी करनी है, ठीक है. सो आई एम लाइक ओके ग्रेट, सुपर्ब, अ गर्ल परफॉर्मर, आई एम गोना गो ऑल आउट डूइंग माय थिंग. ये नाच रहा है बीच में.
अच्छा,
हाँ. तो आई एम लाइक what the hell is happening? Why are you doing that? Okay, ठीक है, I'll do what you're trying to do, but you are not looking great doing what you're doing. Let me do what I want to do. If sir does not like it, then we'll keep it aside. I'm like, नहीं, you do what I'm telling you to do. I said, अच्छा. मेरे भी कीड़े, बहुत कीड़े. So I went to sir one day. Sir, am I his assistant or your assistant?
अच्छा, ऐसा डायरेक्ट.
हाँ, डायरेक्ट पूछ लिया. Sir offend.
हाँ,
Like how what do you mean? You're my assistant. So I said, हाँ, तो फिर why is he behaving like he's the choreographer?
अच्छा.
So yeah, so I was like damn irritated. So I was like, okay, time. ये तो because if you try and push me around, I'm not the kind of person. If you allow me to flourish, because I'm capable. You've hired me, why? Because I'm capable, right? So if you allow me to flourish, then I'll do my work to the best of my ability. If you have a person who's telling you, who's a male dancer, who's telling you what the female choreography dancer should be like when he's not a female choreographer, okay? Then I'm like, relax, na, take it easy. Let me do my job. Because I am also there wanting to prove myself, because I know I can do it, more importantly. So all that is there. So I did that. And कुछ ना कुछ उस पावर डायनामिक्स में ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, वो फिल्म करते करते अहमद सर के साथ वो आउट. बट इट वॉज नॉट अस प्लेइंग डर्टी, इट इज हैपन टू बी वो ही खुद अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मार मार के चला गया. सो इट वॉज दैट. बट या, दैट वॉज माई फर्स्ट स्टेप into the film space for a very, very long period of time with Ahmad sir. So there was, oh my god, I don't even remember the film, but post that I was doing race with sir. So I started off with that and did a lot more after that. But yeah, that was the first opportunity that I got. And then post that I was like, okay, only films and nothing more. That is something that I wanted to focus on. Did that. And learned so much with Remo sir as well. After I left Ahmad sir, Remo sir ke paas I think I did about 2 or 3 films with Tevar, Dolly Ki Dolly and whatever. I did a couple of films over there. Dolly Ki Dolly pe Sonam Kapoor saw me because I was teaching her. And as a choreographer, as an assistant choreographer, it is your job to make sure that the person is doing it exactly the way the choreographer envisions it, right? It's my job as an assistant to execute that. So I did that with her and she performed really well and she really took up a liking for me. We're both the similar age, so we got on like a roof on fire. We were both like on set. We're like, no, you do this like this and all that. We were very cute with each other. And there was a comfort level that I had with her. So she said, please, can you come and teach me at home? I really want to dance again. I've done Kathak, but I want to like brush up my Western dancing. So I said, yes, I'll come. No problem. तो बुलाया and about a month later I was teaching her at home. Teaching her at home में दूसरे क्लास में her sister came. Her sister is Riya Kapoor. And she came and saw us dancing and she's like, come Riya, see what I'm doing. And then I was showing her my choreography or whatever, and she's like, "Do you have a show reel? Do you want to do films?" I was like, yes, and yes. And she's like, "Okay, fine. Send me your show reel, and I'll forward it to my sister, and we'll see how it goes." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." तो जो भी काट कूट के पीसेस जो मेरे कोरियोग्राफी के थे एज एन असिस्टेंट कोरियोग्राफर जो भी थे जोड़ दे, and I sent it across to her, and I got my call for a meeting in the office. फट रही थी big time. But that was my first call, and from there onwards I'm very grateful to Sonam and Riya for recognizing that I could be a choreographer, that I got opportunities like Maka Phone in my first a song as a choreographer. I got even Bal Khade. If you see those two, I was a load of nerves at that moment of time, but I was directing that entire thing. And it's so amazing when you can do it effortless. It was amazing, an opportunity to have with them. So that was the first thing that happened as a part of films. And then uske baad to bahut sare opportunities aa gaye, but I have never had that one film where I can say shit isme to maine choreography todi yet abhi tak nahi aaya.
हाँ.
इंतजार में हूँ. I'm still young.
Do you believe in the concept of time?
Absolutely.
मतलब वो एक मैंने ऐसा देखा है कि ऐसा होता है. मैं पहले नहीं बिलीव करता था. मैं सोचता था नहीं हम करेंगे तो हो जाएगा, हार्ड वर्क से होता है. लेकिन नहीं, हार्ड वर्क करना ही पड़ता है. सब करते हैं,
झक मार के करना पड़ता है.
लेकिन ऐसा नेसेसरी नहीं है कि हर किसी का वक्त एक ही टाइम पे आएगा. मतलब और ऐसा तो होता ही नहीं है. नॉट इवन क्लोज. बट पीपल विल राइज टू फेम वेरी फास्ट. देन वी आर एट द बॉटम. Then they come to bottom, we are at the top. Then they come back again. तो ऐसे मतलब कुछ भी हो सकता है.
कुछ भी हो सकता है.
हाँ.
And of course timing, because I have always been patient with my career. In the sense that I have never been hungry to rise fast. मुझे पता था कि अगर मुझे कोरियोग्राफर बनना है, I have to peak somewhere in my 30s to sustain till my 50s.
Okay.
I've always had that thought process. So I've always been that is the right time for you to do something significant. But then life takes such weird turns. And again, when it came to Dance Plus also, it was such a career high for me.
How did it happen?
So you won't believe this.
I will believe whatever you say.
Okay.
So क्योंकि I can see you and I know कि your life hasn't been something जो एक मतलब एक fiction से भी ज़्यादा fictional लगेगा ऐसी ही life.
Yeah. So you won't believe it. And तो एक so I was I don't know if I should speak about this, but anyways, so I was married, and I was giving up on Bollywood, giving up on my career and wanting to move because I thought my relationship required attention and priority.
Okay.
So that very year that I got Dance Plus, I had applied for Canada. Okay. And my Canadian PR.
Oh my God.
Yes.
See the immigration.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'd applied and I said, you know what? Till such time I go, I'm going to have the best year. And that's something I said in Jan. Okay. And Jan के बाद फट काम आते रहा. I was like, this is amazing. Like before I go, I'm going out with a bang. So that was what I was thinking in my head. And I came to a point maybe around June, okay? And I had a dream. I was sitting on a chair, looking at a stage. Dharmesh is next to me. And we're both sitting and talking like we're on a judging show. Okay. And I was like, this is weird. I had that dream. I've woken up in the morning and I've messaged him. I said, D, पता है सपने में क्या आया था? तू और मैं ना. And I was being modest about it at that moment of time. I was like, एक तो शो जज कर रहे थे साथ में और तू मेरे सपनों में था. Like I was telling him, like, कोई नहीं बड़ी, हो जाएगा. He's that kind of a person. Okay, he's been my biggest cheerleader when it comes to. I've known D since DID, dance के superstars. तो he was like that. Okay, and I didn't even mention the show because I thought अगर mention कर दिया तो बोलेगा क्या पागल है क्या?
अच्छा.
You know what I mean?
But you saw the show clearly.
I saw the show.
अच्छा.
I saw the show. So, and I was very skeptical to mention it to him, but I didn't say that. Like, हाँ कुछ तो show था.
But did you have a dream to judge or something? या ऐसा मतलब dream as in सपना अपना वो क्या बोलते हैं? Ambition
Absolutely,
था. Ambition
absolutely.
था. Okay.
And see, it's not. एक होता है jealousy, एक होता है envy. ये बहुत बड़ा फर्क है. Okay, I am envious. Why am I envious? Because I am career oriented. I work my butt off.
Ambitious.
I'm very ambitious. I prove myself. I create good work. I'm dedicated. And I believe in that focal, concentration that you have done for your life. That there is certain things that you are greedy for. Okay? And as you say, a choreographer wants to touch those points, right? Touch that graph. Assistant, dancer, choreographer,
Or फिर
dance plus show, or a judging show,
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever have you. You want to touch those highlights. Hit in a movie. You want to do all that, right? So of course, definitely, Dance Plus was one of those dreams. Okay. First few seasons, I'm a choreographer as a part of the industry, and I'm getting called for auditions for Dance Plus. And I'm like, पहले 2-3 बार I was like, no, I don't do that. नहीं. चौथी बार जो आया कॉल ना, I was like, मुझे नाचना नहीं है, मुझे उधर बैठना है. As a
You said
judge
it on the
phone.
अच्छा.
I was very categoric. Okay, I was like, I'm not dancing with the show. I want to become a judge. The person on the other side laughed on my face. Okay, it was a chuckle. Like it was like that. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I mean, if that's what you think I am, too bad. Put the phone down. And I was like, okay, ये तो देखना पड़ेगा कि आपको कोई seriously नहीं ले रहा है. और वो हंसी मेरे मुंह पे. तो I was like, okay, ठीक है, पता नहीं, शायद नहीं होगा. You have your own thoughts about what may or may not happen, and then obviously अगर तुम उस साल में गिव अप के मोड पे हो और तुम बोल रहे हो कि नहीं अब निकलने का वक्त आ गया है. So and that dream happens.
तो मतलब कैसे ऐसे सामने से कॉल आया then something like
So हाँ, तो that dream happened. I got my visa. I got my visa, and then after a month of getting my visa to go, I get a call from Dance Plus saying come in for an interview, and we would like to audition you for the judge. Couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? I mean, how can you come at this? What is this timing? ये क्या गंदा timing है कि मुझे मैं plan कर रही हूँ कनाडा जाने के लिए और आप यहाँ ये ऑफर कर रहे हो मुझे. So I was like, okay, I'll come in and see what happens. I went in, I auditioned. They saw me as a camera test. I was made to, comment on acts, that you've seen in previously on Dance Plus, and मेरे विशेष टिप्पणी हिंदी में बोलने के लिए वो भी सब था ना. That's also a thing ना कि तुम कितने articulate हो हिंदी में. तो वो भी है. तो वो हुआ. I'm presuming I did well. Also the channel Star Plus, I have worked with on several projects before that. From Nachbali itself, know me for a very long time. So I was a pick from the channel.
Okay.
And there were other choreographers also who were auditioning at that moment of time. And I guess at that moment of time जिसका नसीब था वो आ गया. And again replacing somebody else. ये unfortunate बात है कि लड़के 3 हैं, एक लड़की है. मुझे अगर पसंद आए तो मैं 2 लड़की और 2 लड़के उस पैनल पे देखना चाहूँ. But ये होता ना, the fight for one seat is unfortunately the females' fight. It's not the males. And that is exactly what happened. So got to Dance Plus. I enjoyed the process thoroughly. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. It exposed me to, so many situations, ups, downs, creativity, dancers, moments of extreme emotion, and I loved it. I loved the entire process. बहुत stress था, बहुत stress था, बिल्कुल नींद नहीं थी.
अच्छा.
5 महीने सिर्फ हम ऐसे घोड़े की तरह चल रहे हैं, and it was just fun being there.
Right.
I enjoyed the process. It was very stressful, but I enjoyed the process nonetheless. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that
तो फिर
opportunity.
कनाडा का क्या हो?
तो फिर डांस प्लस आया,
कनाडा क्या?
पैंडेमिक.
अच्छा.
डांस प्लस खत्म होते ही पैंडेमिक हिट.
2020,
ओके,
yeah.
फेब डांस प्लस खत्म, मार्च में पैंडेमिक. एंड अगेन एज आई से, एवरीथिंग हैपेंस फॉर अ रीजन. माय मैरिज केम टू एन एंड. I guess I was trying to save something that couldn't be saved. So at that moment of time, तो luckily ये था ना कि God gives you directions.
Divine intervention.
Absolutely, it's exactly that. It's exactly that. Pandemic is an eye opener. I had reached my career high as part of Dance Plus, judging on that show. Got a lot of recognition. I should have got a lot of work post that, and unfortunately the pandemic hit. So जो मोमेंटम मिलता है एक आर्टिस्ट को ना, वो होता है टाइमिंग. और वो टाइमिंग बहुत गलत था मेरे करियर ग्राफ के लिए, बिकॉज आई कुड हैव गेन्ड अ लॉट ऑफ माइलेज उसके बाद. और फिर वो सब सुन हो गया. इट वॉज आउट ऑफ द विंडो इन वन नाइट, एंड आई वॉज लाइक, ओके, नाउ लाइफ has happened. 2 years, no entertainment business was happening, apart from I think on a couple of shows actually ran in the pandemic. Couple of dance reality shows did it with a lot of guts, with a lot of people falling sick. But yeah, hua. And unfortunately there was Dance Plus did not come out in the next season in that very year, and then it loses its momentum, it loses its essence also. That is also one thing. And then ek hota hai na ki I have a feeling that people try to save situations. कैसे revive कर सकते हैं. And वो reviving में शायद they think people who are previously a hit on the show can be gaining that traction back again.
वापस पुराना वाला.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So when that happened, and there were calls that came in which were saying that, okay, now you'll get a call, but somebody else was already there for whatever reason. And you have to take it as a part of your stride, your destiny, your journey. Pandemic was very eye-opening. जो बुरा होना था ना, सब हुआ. सब from getting divorced, from going broke, जो भी था, whatever bad could happen in a person's life ना, सब हुआ मेरे लाइफ में.
After a high,
yes, down म्हणजे इतना down कि अलग level. Leveling होता ना कि building गिरा दी. But that's the best place to be. Why?
इसके ऊपर ही है बस. Very true.
खत्म. That's my thought process.
हेलो, आई थिंक हम बिखरते हैं फिर बोलते मरन दे, और फिर we take off.
Absolutely. So as I said, the breaking my building was the best thing that happened, because now it was a new life. I had to carefully choose what I wanted to do post this.
Right.
Adaptability changes. You see, even the career process of becoming a dancer or a choreographer right now is different.
Yeah.
Post pandemic.
Right.
Everybody's struggling. Everybody's fighting for that one job. Everybody's dropping their prices. Everybody's like trying to survive. And I get it. I get that. But in that survival, there's a lot of unethical behavior that thrives because of it, and so be it. You learn to survive. So that was that. I met somebody who came to me to promote her company. Her name is Aishwarya Dua. She and me are partners right now, along with Nikita. And she came to me and she's like, she came to me through a friend from the industry. And she said, listen, can you please just promote my brand? And I was like, okay, what do you want to, what is all this about? So she spoke to me about, you know, how her journey through her, you know, trauma and her past happened. And we both kind of like went connected in such a way where we're like, yes, this is a problem. Yes, we need to address it. And I will help you. And it was only helping, okay? कि देखो जो चाहिए, मेरा Instagram following है थोड़ा सा ठीक ठाक, तू ले ले.
अच्छा.
मैं प्रमोट करूँगा खुल ले आप, no problem. तो she's like, सुनो मुझे ऐसे फ्री में नहीं चलता ये सब, आप कंपनी का 1% लो पर एडवाइजरी बनो उसका. I was like, sure, no problem, I'll come on board and I'll see what I can do for you. So हुआ. And then 2 months later, and she kept calling me, she kept keeping in touch, she like, should I do this, should I do that? And there was this moment where she had to get a certain amount of investment, and that was not working out for her because the person was not doing justice to her, who was supposed to come in as an investor. And I was like, okay, I think I could help. And luckily, at that moment of time, I had a little money. And I said, you know what? I'm coming in. I'm coming in as co-founder. Let's build this together. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay. But I definitely know where we want to go, you know, as a company. And we want to help women and, you know, the LGBTQIA community. And let's go into that, you know, head on. So I came on board, Nikita came on board, and we all three came together to form Sassiest. And the company is doing well. It's doing amazingly well. And I never knew I could become an entrepreneur. You know, you don't see that as a part of your career graph.
Not the plans.
Where is it? You know, nowhere, right?
Right.
But to learn something new.
Not even a dance company. Not even close.
Exactly. A sexual wellness brand for women and LGBTQI. Who would have thought? But it is something that interests me. I've always been vocal about it. कि मैं बात कर सकती हूँ. I can आराम से speak about sex. No issues whatsoever. So when I'm that comfortable, let's talk about it. And we all have like past experiences. दोस्त से मिल लो, फ्रेंड से मिल लो, दूसरे औरतों से मिल लो जो शादीशुदा है, and they're all complaining somewhere or the other. Like ये तो सही प्रॉब्लम है.
बस अंडर द टेबल जैसा है वो.
Absolutely. और कोई बात क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? That is where I was like, I'm comfortable talking about it. I'm comfortable, you know, discussing this, selling this, making sure that we are helping the right people on the way. And this is something that we should not hush about as Indians. 1.42 billion.
Very true.
कहाँ से आ रहा है? Obviously, right? So this is where I started off Sassiest. Now I was like, okay, I need to really work on this because this has become like a life mission. And suddenly, एक जो dance की industry है, जो film की industry है ना, you're so cocooned. You're only over there. And you're constantly thinking about, okay, कौन सा next गाना चाहिए, कौन सा next movie आ रहा है, where would you know, able to pitch yourself, all that. And suddenly, I am targeting the entire nation. And that is just mind-blowing. Like from an industry where you're like fighting for work and you're trying to get somewhere and trying to make it, I'm suddenly helping half the country, which is 700 million women of this country. And that for me has so much more purpose and so much more gain personally.
Right.
Without even thinking, obviously, financial gain. You invest for what? Of course, you invest for money, returns.
Very true.
But look at what you're gaining personally. And for me, that had a huge, you know, impact on on how I thought about this entire thing. It was very impulsive a decision, but trust me, I'm living the best days of my life working towards this, and I absolutely enjoy it.
ब्यूटीफुल.
Yeah.
मैं नहीं चाहता कि ये खत्म हो, बट आई थिंक पार्ट 2 जरूरी है.
Of
बट आई वुड
course.
लाइक टू एंड दिस विद वन थिंग दैट आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू. हम सबको ना बहुत ज्यादा सेल्फ डाउट होता है, हम सबको, मुझे तो बहुत ही जरूरत से ज्यादा होता
जी.
है. और आई नो कि रिजेक्शन हिट करता है,
हाँ.
बट वो जरूरत से ज्यादा भी हिट करता है कभी कभी, कि एक सिंपल रिजेक्शन से मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि शायद मैं तो मतलब मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है, इसीलिए आई एम द पर्सन हु इज एट द लैक एंड देन आई शुड नॉट बी हियर. मतलब द it's like the brain telling me. So I would like to ask you a personal tip for me, for everyone sitting here, and for the entire audience, that how should we deal about it? That would be the
Self
best.
doubt.
Everything, rejection, self doubt, अपने अंदर ही जो घुटन सी होती है ना अपने
Oh
आप
my
में,
God. Okay. एक कोई फॉर्मूला है नहीं.
कुछ
Okay?
तो मतलब whatever.
Uh,
आपने कैसे किया? How did you do it?
I think because a lot of it is because I have great parents. I have supportive parents. I have very little fear taught to me. मुझे किसी ने डर नहीं सिखाया है.
अच्छा.
And I think that is my biggest strength, where I don't walk into any situation fearful of the outcome or the consequence. You're responsible for your own actions, of course, definitely. But be prepared for the consequence as well, right? Self-doubt सबको होता है. It eats you in moments. Tiding over is about your mental structure, your mental strength. आप कैसे करते हो is on you. और कभी कभी वक्त बहुत ज़्यादा लगता है वो ओवरकम करने में, और शायद वो ओवरकम होके वापस शुरू होता है. इट्स नेवर एंडिंग प्रोसेस.
Very true.
आपको हर दिन उठ के आपको चूज करना है कि आप सेल्फ डाउट करोगे या आगे एक स्टेप लोगे अपनी जिंदगी में.
सेल्फ पिटी भी होता है ना.
पिटी भी होता है. मेरी मम्मा कितना पिटी करते हैं मेरे ऊपर, अरे कितनी बच्ची टैलेंटेड है, कुछ काम नहीं मिलता, किसको देता नहीं है, why aren't you there, why aren't you know doing this, why aren't you choreographing that film, what is this? And I'm like, Mama, relax. Whatever has to happen will happen, and I have to trust that. I have to trust that I will do my best and leave the rest to whatever is supposed to happen. You take control of what you can do, and that is your part. उसके beyond जो होता है ना, accept it as your path, as your journey, as your window. So एक as they say, right, एक दरवाजा बंद होता है दूसरा खुलता है, right?
Very true.
That is your journey. You have to accept it. You can't keep fighting for acceptance. It's not possible.
Right.
And you shouldn't do that. Because if you're not meant to be in a certain place, you should be like, okay, that's okay. It didn't work out. No problem. There's something
move
else. Absolutely. And एक होता है, some people just die in that,
हाँ.
you know, कि अरे यार मैं
Grief.
I did not become all Devdases of the world. नहीं, you have your journey. You need to accept it. You need to recognize it. And मेरा दो है. I have a career path and I have a spiritual path. Both simultaneously running parallel, okay, to each other, and choosing which path at what time is the key for me. So if I need to let go of this to rise slightly higher over here, so be it. मेरा जर्नी earthly नहीं है. I have a different space altogether. So that is how I look at my life. I don't look at it as this physical body is my only life. I look at it beyond that. So for me, I work like that, and it works for me. I'm blessed to think a certain way, and that tides you over. It's all your mind, right?
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. आई एम श्योर हम लोगों ने, मैंने वो स्पिरिचुअल वाला तो मतलब आई शुड हैव टेकन दैट टॉपिक अप, बट आई थिंक इट हैज बीन सेव्ड फॉर द सेकंड
for the next time that we meet.
Yes. Thank you so much. It was an absolute honor.
Yes, mine too. Thank you for having me.
आप दिल से बात करते हो ना, ये चीज मतलब आई डोंट इवन हैव टू से इट कि It was such a wonderful time. मुझे लगा भी नहीं कि इतना टाइम हो.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
And I wish to do this again with you.
100%.
And continue to do this because
I will not stop.
I think yes, absolutely. Because a lot of stories need to be told.
You know ना मैं कितना patient.
Yeah. See?
आज नहीं हाँ ठीक है. आप परसों नहीं हाँ, ठीक है. आप
Yes.
next week हाँ ठीक है. I am like that. करेंगे.
Patience is the key. Is the key. Trust me. I have waited 18 years. I will continue to wait, and I know for a fact जो मुझे मेरी तरफ आना है वो आएगा.
Yeah,
That's it. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And next.